If you miss the dance party, you'll have to go back and watch the replay. Welcome, Louisa. Welcome, Porsche. Welcome, everybody. Listen, life is too serious to be serious all the time. And when you change your state, you change your state. When you change your physical state, you change your emotional and your mental state. So you've got to get in to your body and move it. And I guarantee you can change how you feel in moments. So that's why I do, little da 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 da, before we get started. Okay, good. So guys, so much is going on. I'm like so excited. I'm like, where do I start? I've got so much stuff to share. So first of all, you guys know, if you were following on the stories, I went to Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, I didn't see any of Washington, D.C., which is a total heartbreaking thing because there's so many amazing monuments and things to see there. But I was there for a mastermind with my coach and the other people she has in her mastermind, and it was fantastic. So I'll have to go back to Washington and experience Washington. But what I have to say is being in this setting with 12 other women who are building epic business. Hey, Steph, who are at a level either where I'm at or ahead of me, which is key when having being in a mastermind, because you want to be striving for something. You want people who have smart opinions to offer because they've either been there or they're at a place in their business where they can help you. It was fabulous. So I wanted to come on and share something very key that I took away from and share that with you guys. Because if you saw, hey, Michelle, hey, Brittany, everyone who's joining, I'm going to take you through what I discovered and how you can get the same thing, the same feeling, the same way of being, with some of the tools that I use to get there. And I want to talk about the quote that I posted today on my stories. If you have it on my stories and on my feed, Christy Jackson, the Woman CEO Project, the CEO of that, she had said something to me. She said it to the group a few months ago. Thank you. You like my nail color? It's like my brand. These are my brand colors. So I love it. I love that you're noticing. She said, don't wait for permission, a platform, or a request. She's like, you guys are all sitting around waiting for things when you need to be going to make things happen. And I remember when she said it, she didn't say it exactly like that, but when she said it, it made my skin tingle. I was like, she's so right. What am I waiting for? There were things I wanted to be building. I wasn't doing enough reaching out. I wasn't posting as much as I post now. There were a lot of things I was doing, but I wasn't fully committed and immersed in what I was doing. And I was getting, if you do sometime things, you get sometime-ish results. That's exactly what was happening. That's exactly what was happening. So I was like, there is no time for that. And ever since I had that conversation with her, because we later had a later conversation, my business has skyrocketed. I have other things that have attributed to that for sure. One, I got a business coach. I've had coaches in the past, but I've been looking for a really great, somebody who was my person. It's hard to find a coach. There are a lot of coaches out there, but to find the one who's perfect for your business at the place that you're at, it's hard to find. And when I got recommended to Laura Wright, who is my coach, my business has skyrocketed. But I started after listening to Christy, I started going after more things versus waiting for them to come to me, waiting for the request. We're done with that. Okay. And so I'm just going to go through those 3 things that have really resonated with me. But before I do, yeah, I know, right? You're like, you weren't doing enough. Listen, we all have our 100%. We are all working at our own individual 100%. I know when I'm operating at 100% and I was operating at 75. No. So if I was only operating at 75, what is going to happen when Monique is operating at 100%? Madness. But I'm so excited. Okay, so one of the things that happened at the mastermind, and if you guys don't know what a mastermind is, it's really about like minds coming together for the purpose of helping you push your business forward. You help them, they help you, and you are getting that community aspect, and a coach is like leading it. Okay, and making sure you have that accountability and you move your ass. There's no like about it. It's like, no, what do you need to do? Let's go, let's get it done, right? And there's all different types of masterminds at all price points. And this was just like perfect for me, right? It was in a beautiful setting, and it was in the presidential suite at the Hyatt Regency in Washington. It was beautiful. And you guys know I love me a beautiful setting. Like your brain, like all of your senses, when they're turned on, your creativity is just a fluid, right? And that's what I need to really like push things forward and be at my optimum. Okay? Okay, good. So one of the things that came up, which was really great, a little story I'm going to share. I feel it. I'm not operating at my full potential at all. That's Michelle saying. We know when we're operating at our full. And it feels, I don't know about you, Michelle, but I feel a little like disconnected and a little shitty when I'm not. And I get it. Sometimes I'm just tired. And that's a different kind of, that's different, right? Like that's when I need to rest. So I don't know if you're in a place of needing to rest, rejuvenate, and come back. Or if you're kind of just doing a little bit of something, hoping to get some results. So, hey, Maggie, let me know where you're at. So we were having a conversation, and one of the participants, everything is confidential, so I'm not going to reveal anything that is, private or anybody's names or anything like that. But basically, she was saying like, she works in publishing, and she was like, I have a vision of who I am. Like the successful me, who I am. She's like, I, have really nice clothes, and I have like a standard uniform that I always wear, but I look super cool. And I have my hair up in this bun, and I'm like walking around in New York, making deals and things like that. And she was like, and I have this beautiful scarf that I got from Barney's that was way too expensive and overpriced, but it's like the thing. And it was like, I think it was like red or something like that. And she was like, that's who my successful self is, right? And we were all like so captivated by this conversation. We were so captivated by this conversation because we all have our successful self, right? Like we have a vision of who successful Monique is, or who successful Chantel is. And we did this whole exercise around what would successful Monique do, say, and be? Who would she have to be? What would she say? What actions would she take, right? Not when she gets there, but today. And it was so powerful. Like it was this very simple exercise, but it was so powerful because I was like, there are things that I'm not doing because I'm waiting for when I get to a certain income level or a certain notoriety, popularity, whatever, then I'll do the things, whatever that thing is. And the reality is you need to act as if today, because it has you feel as if you will tomorrow. Does that make sense? Like you are acting your way into being. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. So my car is in the shop, my regular car. And I was like, great, I'm away. They can fix it while I'm away. Come back, it's still not fixed. I'm like, well, damn, what am I supposed to do? I was like, okay, well, I guess I should rent a car. I don't really rent cars. I've never had to. So I was like, okay, I'm going to rent a car. And I was like, well, I should just get like the cheapest whatever car, like it's for a couple of days, da-da-da-da. And something said to me, what would successful Monique rent? What would she do? She wouldn't worry about no little piece of car. She would rent a nice car because this is her opportunity to try it out without having to own it. So I called one place and they were like, no, we don't have any luxury cars. And I was like, Monique, you're being ridiculous. Like these are the thoughts I'm having. And then I was like, no, what would successful Monique do? Successful Monique would find the dealership that has the luxury cars. So I called another one, and they're like, I said, do you, and they kept like giving me this back and forth because they were so busy. And I was like, oh my God, this wasn't meant to be. Like, Monique, just stop. And then I called them back again, like 2 hours before they closed. And I'm like, listen, I just want to know if you have any luxury cars. And he's like, oh yeah, we do. He's like, actually, we have a Mini Coupe. Now, you don't even know this, and this is why I talk about like alignment and energy and visualization. My very first vision board that I've ever done in my life, like over 10 years ago, had a Mini Coupe on it. It had a Mini Coupe. And I was like, oh my God, what would it be like to have a car like that? It's so cool. Like, just the cool factor of it. And I just, after that, I was like, I see coupes, but I'm like, I never go test it. I'm like, it's for everybody else. It's not for me. It's for everybody else. And then when they said this, I was like, oh my God, this is so meant to be. JS, you love this conversation. Amazing. I love you guys that you guys are here with me. So yeah, I posted all of my stories. If people think I own a Mini Coupe now, I do not own one. Who knows soon? But I was like, oh my God, of all the cars they could have, I don't rent cars. So I was like, a Mini Coupe? Yeah, I'll take it. And I am telling you guys, I don't even own this car. So this is the power of like the acting into being. I sat in this car and I literally felt like a different person. I was like, oh my God, I'm so fancy, right? Like, and I was just like, successful Monique, this would be a normal day. This car would be normal day. So I got the windows rolled down, running all over the streets, I'm like, I have to go and show this to someone. I call my girl. I'm like, come see my new car. She actually thought I bought it. It was so fun. So we just traveled around the neighborhood. It was no big deal, but I literally felt different. I even woke up this morning super early, happy to go to Pilates because I got to drive my car to the gym. So I only have it for one more day, but it just reminded me, like, all of us, we need to be acting and operating as our successful future selves. Because that's how we're going to get what we want. Things start to align when we are in alignment with what we want. So you know how they say luck is preparation that meets opportunity? That's what it is. Like, how can you set yourself up in preparation for all the amazingness that is coming your way? Because I truly believe that. Like, I am so bursting with all of the freaking juice that I am announcing soon for the stuff that I've created. I have a whole new offer that I think all of the people who follow me who have said, VIP day, I'm not ready for that yet, but someday, it's like I've got a different offer that will allow you to still get lots of me and a lot of the juice without the price tag that's attached to it. So, but now I see how it could be built. Before I was kind of doing little bits of it, and now I was like, no, I see the value, I see the future, I see how this fits into my entire business model. So I love that you guys love this. Hey Mahuli, operating from our successful future selves. Yes, 100%. I know you know all about them things. So if you guys want to see the wonderful car, yeah, you need to go on my stories and go look at that. Okay. Azetta is saying, yes, big visions of my successful self. I'm laughing to myself now as you say this because I'm not living into successful Azetta. And why won't I? 100%. So one of the reasons you may not be operating in your successful self, guys, I know it's our negative self-talk. You don't know how many times my brain said to me, Monique, you don't need to go spend extra money for that car. Your car's in the shop. You ain't got money to be spending on some expensive rental to be doobity-doobity all over the place. Doesn't make any sense. If I had listened to that rational brain, that's why I haven't stepped in a Mini Coupe in 10 years. I could have rented a car anytime. It's not a big deal. It's just a rental. But it was just limiting this voice. And we all know the gremlins in our head control a lot of what we do. And it's old stinking thinking that shows up, right? Because like I was raised that you don't need all of these things. Or if you want too much, then you're like a greedy person. Or think of all of the hardship that's happening in the world. Like that money could go to so many other things. And that's all true. But why does that equal I can't have all the things I want? Why can't I still have the beautiful vehicle, the beautiful home, and give back to my community, right? So that is future Monique, because the reality is the more money I make, the more people I can help. And I want you guys to take that with you. If you're having any conversations around what you charge, who you are, it's like if you don't charge enough money and you go under, you can't help nobody. Sorry, I'm yelling at you, but you can't, right? So I want you to talk about the stinking thinking's happening. So one thing I'm going to tell you, that thinking isn't going anywhere. It's going to keep showing up. So how to combat it is a couple of things that I do. One, I replace all my negative thoughts with happy thoughts. So I know that sounds foo-foo, but it's true. What I do is, like, just like how this thing was coming in my head saying, Monique, you don't need this. The other side of me was saying, what would successful Monique do? So it was like this battle. But if I had not gone to this mastermind and been with people who think like I think and want the things that I want in terms of like the bigness and changing the world in such a positive way, I wouldn't have had the vocabulary to combat the gremlins. That's why tribe is so important, guys. Masterminds and coaching is so important. We can't do this by ourselves. So you've got to replace the negative gremlins with some happy gremlins. I don't know what to call them, but you get my point, right? So it's like, what would successful Monique do? So you want to ask yourself, what would successful Azetta do? What would successful Steph do? What would successful Jamila do? Right? Like, what would that future success you do? And then also, I want you, so there's an exercise, if you do not have the painted picture exercise that I gave you guys long ago, or you didn't get the Juicy Delicious Business template, please DM me and I will email it to you. Because what this is a breakdown of your future perfect day. Your future perfect day. Like if you had no limitations, no one talking in your ear, no gremlin, no nothing, what would your perfect day look like? Because guys, that perfect day, and I've done this a few times now and it changes, but that perfect day is what we're all striving for and then telling ourselves, it's not meant for me. That's for somebody else. I can't have that perfect day. I can't have that perfect business, that perfect relationship, that perfect client, that perfect environment. We can't have it. It's for somebody else. As long as we are in that place, we will never have it. We will never have it. And what a tragedy if you get to the end of your days and you never once had that perfect day. Oh my God, it's like heartbreaking. Like that is what moves me and pushes me to move at 100%. Because that perfect day, the thing I'm striving for, what do I want in my business, in my relationships, with my clients, with my life, like with my health, like if I don't have a picture of what I'm striving for, how will I ever reach it? So if you don't have this, DM me after this and I'm going to send it to you because you need to create your perfect day. Now you have your perfect day and I want you, and you've got your future self that you live into. Who's your future self? Make a list of future self. What does she look like? What does she say? What kind of business does she have? Where does she work? What kind of clothes does she wear? Does she have glasses? Like, where does she live? Please do this. If you do nothing else, guys, do this because this is what we're striving for. It's our compass. It becomes our compass for our actions. We can't just be doing willy-nilly actions every hoobada-doobada place. Okay? It's not going to get us anywhere. Okay? As Zeta is saying, I actually reread mine. I know you did it. Pure juiciness. Thanks for the reminder. Britt said, what a tragedy to have lived and have never experienced a perfect day. 100%, right? Welcome, Edmund. I love that you're loving this. If this is your first time here, fantastic. Hi, everybody who's coming on. We're talking about what your future self would do and how to act your way into being. We're talking about, like, I talk about branding, but this is part of it, guys. Like, we've got to know what we want and where we're headed, or we'll never get what we want. And it's all about getting what you want at the end of the day. It just is. What else are we here for? So you've got your perfect future self, a list of who they are, what they look like. If you can get pictures, get that too. I have a complete picture of Monique future Monique perfect, who that is. And I'm so close. I am so close, right? And then you got your painted picture of your perfect day. Then I want you to make a list of what kind of thoughts would future you have? Not the things you're saying to yourself today, because you guys know the thoughts you have, any of that negativity came from somewhere else. We didn't wake up out the womb and start saying shit about ourselves. It came from somewhere else. You want to identify when was the first time you heard that negative thought, and then you can dismiss it because it was somebody else's feeling, thought, opinion, problem, fear, advice that they then forced upon you, and you took it on as your own. And now it's running your life. How scary is that? You know what I mean? So what would future you say to you? What were the thoughts that future you have? Would you say stuff like, oh my God, I'm so smart? I say stuff like, I can manifest anything. I can have whatever I want. I can do anything. I make money easily. Like whatever future self says. Oh, and I say I travel. I can buy what I want, wear what I want. I get to choose my clients, like all of that stuff. Hey, Shondell. This is the most powerful message I've heard you share. Thank you. I mean, I want to give you guys tools, but we all know it starts with mindset. Everything starts with mindset, right? So we're going to start, today is about the mindset because it has like, every time I go into immerse myself in a mastermind, in a coach, in something that helps push me forward, where the ideation happens, and I just come back so fired up, and I just want to share all of this with you. Is this the exact topic on your podcast today? I can't speak today. I'm just like, there's so much I want to say. I'm speaking so quickly that I can't get it out. This is going to be your topic today, Steph, on your podcast. Amazing. Put your podcast in so people know what it is. So future you thoughts, you've got your list. What are the things you say, right? And I'm not talking just about affirmations where you like say, I'm so this, I'm so that. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about future you. Future you is a badass. What does future you say and do and act, and how do they feel and how do they look? We need all of this tactile things. Like future me wears leather jackets in the summer. Oh, well, I need a pink leather jacket. FYI. Anyone see one? Send me a link. So you've got the future you thoughts, the perfect day, and you have the perfect you feelings and the pictures and everything of what they look like. Okay, so we got that. Then what I want you to do, I want you to make a list of what would future you do if they were here today to push your business forward. What would future you do? So this goes back to the quote that I posted today, right? Don't ask for permission, a platform, or a request. So we're not going to wait on Instagram and waiting for followers and waiting for our following count to go up or people to reach out to us before we go and do something, before we have the business, before we DM people, before we get brand partnerships. None of that. We're not waiting. We're going after. We're going after what we want. So if you are in the brand space, if you're in the influencer space, there's a great book. I posted it a couple of days ago. It's called Influencer by Brittany Hennessy. It's on Audible as well. Everything you need to know about being an influencer is in there. The only thing it's not going to teach you is how to build your message and clarify your goals. That is what I do. So if you want to be bigger, bolder, stronger online and clarify your message so people come to you like in drones, they're like, you're my person, then DM me, book a VIP day, and let's talk about it, because there is no time to waste. Zero. The world is waiting for what you have. No one else is going to come with your message. No one else is going to help the people you were meant to help. But you can't do that if people don't know who you are, where you are, or what you do. You can't, right? So come, hit me up, book a VIP day. Let's get you in motion, out of the way, and in action, helping people. Okay? So you guys have a lot that you need to go and do, but I really want you to live into your future self. And if you do anything amazing that future self you did this week, DM it to me. I want to know, just like how I was posting about the car. Like, future self drives really cool cars or rents them when she feels like it. One or the other. What does your really amazing future self do? What do they do in their business? All of that. You can't redeem the time. Yeah. Listen, guys, this is all we have, is literally today. We take for granted we're waking up tomorrow. I say this all the time, guys, but you guys know my story. It's like, cancer tried to take me out of this game. And I said, not on my watch. I mean, I did say it with a lot of like pain and anxiety around the whole thing, but I knew that I said to myself and I said to God, I said, if I get out of this, when I get out of this, I promise you I will not waste one more precious day. I promise you. And I haven't. You guys know, if you've been following me, this Dirty 30 has been on for 2 years now. I'm in fast forward. Like, that's how we operate, because there's so much more I want to be doing and so many more people I want to be helping. And I can only do that if I'm putting in the work. And guys, I'm not talking about working yourself to the bone and to the ground and you can't operate. I'm talking about building a business and a life that fits with who you are. That's what I'm talking about. You got to put in the work, but I'm not talking about doing it at the expense of your health. I'm talking about doing it so it fits with how future self would be. And future me has a team. Teams and assistants doing all kinds of things so I can just show up for y'all. That is future me. But to get to the team, I have to reach a certain goal to build the team to the size that I want. So these are all steps. But I wouldn't know the steps had I not done my vision board, had I not done my perfect day, my painted picture, had I not figured out future self. So you are working into future self. That's what today should have been called. No more waiting. It's future self time. Okay? So no more waiting on the platform. That's another thing. I'll just finish this by saying, guys, Instagram is a free marketing tool for your business. It owes us nothing. We don't own it. We don't own the people on it. All of you guys could disappear tomorrow. I could disappear tomorrow from if Instagram decides they don't like me no more. You want to get on people's email list. So anyone this is your first time, I'm going to be DMing you, being like, come on the list, because God forbid if something was to shut down, what about where I'm going to have to host my juice somewhere else and you'll never know where that went. So no more waiting. Guys, this is it. We're already halfway through the 2019. So if you've been waiting, you already lost 6 months. Chop, chop. Okay, guys, that's it. We are at 11:30. I like to keep it short and sweet for all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I super appreciate it. There is no me without you. And I have a client right now, so I can't even continue the wrap up. Have an amazing week. Come back Mondays at 11. I may come on here on Friday at 11 as well. Stay tuned for that. Check out the stories, and I will keep you posted. Okay, bye guys. I love you.